Hello and welcome to the Module 4 Day 1 video lecture for 2210. Today we'll discuss primary research, types of reports, and the assignments for Day 1. So in doing so, we're going to review everything that you see on the screen, in particular how and why you can use primary research for an upcoming Week 4 Day 1 assignment. Or it might not be a Day 1 assignment. I'm lying. It's Day 2 assignment. Anyway, to start, primary research is data you gather on your own to use for analysis later. For this class, primary research will only consist of the three things that you see on the screen. Sometimes students get primary research confused with other things, and what you see on the screen now is not applicable as primary research. If someone else gathered the information, it's a secondary source. Workplace research, or as we're using it for this class, primary research, needs to be done quickly. And this can be facilitated through online observation. Online observation can be collected on sites like the ones that you see on the screen. It's almost like collecting survey answers that are already out there and they're about a particular topic or problem, and they're waiting to be collected and collated for a specific purpose. And that's what you can choose to do for the research solution assignment. In the workplace, any type of source can be deemed as usable, academic or non-academic sources alike, as long as they're not outright lying. For primary research in the workplace, online resources are an easy way to demonstrate community impacts on an issue. From the examples that you see on the screen, you can see how students used online observation to understand their professional problem from a community-based perspective. We can see the one on the top is a review screen grab from Trustpilot, and the one on the bottom left is I think it's from Twitter. And then the one in the right-hand corner is from a free app website called TweetMap. And you can see the kind of chatter on Twitter generated about your topic if you wanted to talk about frequency or popularity, or is it being discussed in your area and is that important for some topics? Some groups deem that sort of thing important, and so that's why they use the tweet map. The reason you might want to add online observation to the research solution assignment is to demonstrate how the impacted population feels about your problem or solution, even if what the user is saying is untrue or maybe it's blatantly stupid. How they feel reflects a part of the problem, or how they feel it's becoming a problem and could thus be analyzed with the acknowledgement that what they said might be untrue or incorrect, we'll say, while still analyzing their sentiment. This type of primary research does not demonstrate an ultimate truth because you aren't surveying the entire population, right? You're just collecting one tiny snippet of it, but it does reflect a smaller part of the much larger puzzle of your problem. The password for the day one assignment that asks for it is on the screen. It's a really cool Apple Plus show with Tom Holland. I can't remember if I already used it as a password and my days are kind of bleeding together, but place this highlighted, italicized, or bolded on the assignment that asks for it. Although the topic for the research solution assignment is going to be the same as your Project 2 group topic, the assignment should be prepared on your own. Likewise, the source gathered to complete the assignment should be obtained on your own. Adding in primary research, like we just talked about, For this research solution assignment that I believe is due at the end of the week, I'm not 100% sure, but the primary research part of it is optional. So that's the screen grabs I showed you. You don't have to go on Trustpilot or Reddit or Twitter or wherever. You don't have to do that. If you wanted to, you definitely could. And there's supplemental resources in the modules to help you to that effect. Reports are a key communication tool in business. They effectively share and retain information and decisions. Reports are classified into two main types, informal and formal reports. Both of those classifications are further broken down by type of information being distributed. The recommendation report is basically a long research report on how and why you're recommending a solution to a real world problem. Given the growing demand for technology and visual components, you and your group will work collaboratively to create a sort of storyboard approach to this recommendation report. Consider how the format of this report is expanded because you're going to have to optimize the report from simply text and some visuals to instead using complementing colors, thinking about what is going on that page and how it's going to look to promote the solution. Worrying about the text and the visual form of the report expands the appeal, will help build ethos, which in turn will make it easier for the audience to understand the logos you present. So whether you're doing a multi-page format or a scrolling Canva or Sway or Prezi presentation, the text and the visual component of the report is very important. Progress reports are another type of report. Someone in your group will be drafting a progress report this week. This report should outline what occurred during your second team meeting and other notable benchmarks per the assignment guidelines. The report should also look the part, meaning design or lack thereof is factored into the grading process. In a very basic sense, your imagined higher authority for the project needs to know the state of work completed thus far and where the project is headed in the upcoming weeks. Part of the progress report includes a work plan. You already have doled out tasks to certain team members via a P2 task list, but now you'll create a work plan, so they're similar but different, for the recommendation report itself. So you're outlining and allocating work to be done for the report. This is similar to the task list again, but instead lays out the parts of the report and who is doing which part. There's an example of the screen grab that's on the screen in the progress report assignment guideline. It's from a different semester, so the outline itself is going to be different, but I wanted to share this example so you can see how each part of it, the team members put somebody's name next to it. They also color coded, which is above and beyond. You don't have to do that. They did that for themselves, I guess, but I can see very clearly that they've allocated different parts of the report to be done by different people. Due to requirements for next week and for equitable task distribution, assign each teammate at least one visual. Know that every section with a visual requires text as well, and whoever is assigned the visual is responsible for the entire section, including text to accompany the visual, explain the relevance of that section and of the visual. For example, if you're responsible for the map section, you're not just including a map. You're including a paragraph or more to explain why this particular map or area is important and why some communities or spots on the map are circled, and they should be. Like what you see on the screen, each teammate should be assigned at least 3 sections of the entire rec report. For teams of 5, this might change to 2 items per person. As you may also see on the screen, at least 2 people in a team of 4 may be assigned 2 visuals, but everyone again should have at least 1. Beyond the sections of the report, like map or solution, whatever, make sure that one person is responsible for bringing all the parts together. So for example, if everyone types up their text and pastes their images to a Google Doc, one person should transfer that to your work template or allow access to the Canva or the Sway template so everyone can paste their work there. Also, assign other items tangentially related to the report, like proofreading and citations. With a work plan like this, or a task list like you practiced last week, everyone in the group knows which part of the larger project they're responsible for. If someone cannot execute their part of the recommendation report, and this may happen due to illness or, something else, have a plan for someone else to complete their images and text so that P2 is complete. Make sure to mark the checklist accordingly because they didn't do their part, but that's what you can do on that end and still make sure P2 is complete. Because if there are some parts of P2 missing, everybody's grade is going to be impacted. After a team member creates the text and the design for the first progress report, make sure the second progress report matches this look, this design for your team to ensure consistency of design. There are 2 individual assignments this week that everyone in the class will be responsible for submitting. They're on the screen. One of them is a day 1 assignment we'll go over. The second one is a day 2 assignment we'll go over in the next video lecture. However, based on the P2 task list from last week that you've already completed, certain teammates will have a much bigger to-do list this week, like the picture you see on the screen. What this means is some team members will have 3 assignments to complete for this week. Say they'll have the group progress report and they'll have the 2 individual assignments we saw on the earlier slide. Or they'll have to complete the social component rec report and the other 2 items this week. The same thing's going to happen in weeks 5 and 6. And also what you see on the screen, the task list is from another semester, so it's going to have different due dates and stuff on it. But we're that much closer to finishing this class, so take solace in that fact, and let's review the assignments for day 1 to alleviate any possible questions. So we're in week 4. As always, start with understanding concepts for additional links and other items that will help you get through these day 1 assignments. The first one, both of the assignments we're looking at, you're going to complete on your own. You don't need a teammate to help you figure it out in any way. You're going to copy these to your whatever working template that you have. Even though it's a discussion board, you should still be completing it somewhere else, just in case you hit reply and you construct everything and you hit submit and it didn't work. You lose all that work and got to do it again. That's going to suck. So making sure you have the correct password. And then answer these questions. Once you, for part 1, you pick one of these reports and answer questions about it. That is all that you have to do. The second day 1 assignment is for one person in the group to submit on their own. They do need to get input from their group to complete the work plan part of it, of which, again, this is a sample picture of what needs to be included in that progress report, and it's from a different semester, so it looks different than what you really need. Because ultimately, whoever is finishing this progress report for your group, it should look something like this sample. We see it's 1 page. Everything is on 1 page. And they have a task list and they have people's names next to it, who they think is doing what. And they've answered the other parts of the assignment. Basically, there's some questions that you'll have to answer as part of the progress report. But instead of answering them in paragraph format, or I'm sorry, in terms of answering it the way you would like a worksheet, this is a report, and you should be answering those in report format. If you need to submit this late, just like any assignment, you will only get that extension in my class if you submit the Buckleberry Ferry Pass, aka your one-time per semester late pass, especially because we're in a 6-week course. If you want to know how I'm going to grade this assignment, you click for the rubric right there, yes and no questions. You can ask yourself, if you're that one person in the group who is assigned this, you and only you are going to miss 60 points related to project 2, which I believe is 50% of your 2210 grade. So don't forget to submit this on time. And if no one in your group gets back to you about what parts of the report they're willing to do, visit the project 2 page, the report instructions, copy and paste all of this stuff, pare it down to just the bolded headers, and start putting teammates' names next to these items. You assign it to them and you guys can figure it out later, but I do want to see that you're thinking about 2 or 3 bolded items per person as part of that work plan that should be included in the progress report. So if you have any questions, you reach out and find my contact information on the landing page of the course or in the syllabus. And until next time when we discuss day 2 stuff.